is a hater? What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV? I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I'm tired of biting my tongue. There's a new sheriff in town.
While some might not agree that LeBron is the best player of all time, it's hard to argue that he isn't the best player of his generation. The man has won nearly every award imaginable, scored more points than anyone, and inspired a whole generation of kids to pick up a ball. The man is an institution. However, you can't be the best without picking up some enemies on your road to glory. Here are 6 players LeBron James hated the most in his career. Let's kick things off with everyone's favorite quote-unquote basketball analyst and all-around funny guy, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley started out as one of LeBron James's most vocal supporters. Throughout LeBron's early seasons in Cleveland, Barkley repeatedly praised him on national TV, calling him the best player in the league and arguing that his game was unlike anyone else in the NBA at the time. Barkley saw the same qualities in LeBron that made Oscar Robertson special. Whenever criticism came LeBron's way, Barkley shifted the blame to the Cavaliers' front office. He argued that the organization failed to surround LeBron with the right supporting cast and insisted that their lack of roster moves was the real reason for the team's struggles. Barkley's loyalty to LeBron was clear. Barkley emphasized on multiple TNT segments that LeBron was the face of the league and the clear future of the NBA. Even after LeBron announced his move to Miami in 2010, Barkley's criticism was focused on the process and not on LeBron as a person. After the Miami Heat lost to the Mavericks in the 2011 Finals, Charles Barkley's support for LeBron turned into open criticism. Barkley called out LeBron's performance and said he failed to rise to the moment, making it clear he no longer saw him as immune to judgment. When fans and analysts started comparing LeBron to Michael Jordan, Barkley made his position obvious.
LeBron James as good as Michael Jordan. I'm just going to slap the hell out of him.
Even after LeBron delivered Cleveland its long-awaited championship in 2016, Barkley refused to move him into the all-time top 5. He listed Michael Jordan, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Wilt Chamberlain as clearly ahead. Barkley also said that both Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan were still above LeBron in his book. In January 2017, when LeBron went public and called for the Cavaliers to add another playmaker during a losing stretch, Barkley's frustration grew. Barkley did not hold back on national television.
LeBron James' comments were blank.
Inappropriate.
Barkley went even further.
He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players?
Barkley criticized LeBron for complaining about the roster and pointed out that the Cavaliers already had a high payroll and a supporting cast built around LeBron's preferences, including J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, and Kyrie. Barkley expressed frustration that a player as great as LeBron would air those concerns publicly instead of just competing with the team he had. LeBron finally responded to Barkley's criticism in 2017 by going after him directly and publicly. He called Barkley a hypocrite and accused him of being a hater. LeBron did not hold back when listing Barkley's off-court issues, bringing up the time Barkley threw someone through a window, spit on a fan, and racked up gambling debts in Las Vegas. LeBron made a point of separating himself from Barkley's reputation. He said he had never been in trouble, had never disrespected the league, and had always represented the NBA with professionalism. LeBron pointed out that he had never missed any All-Star obligations in his 14-year career, and said he had always acted responsibly as a public figure. LeBron also defended his friendships with other players, including Dwyane Wade and Chris Paul. He reminded people that Barkley and Michael Jordan were seen laughing together during the 1993 Finals, so Barkley had no right to criticize who he chose to spend time with. Barkley responded by saying LeBron went out of his way to dig up his old mistakes, but said that did not change his opinions. Barkley repeated that LeBron's complaints were whiny and made it clear he had no interest in making the situation personal. While Chuck and LeBron are on speaking terms, we can't be so sure about our next player. That player is none other than Boston legend Paul Pierce.
LeBron James and Paul Pierce hate each other.
The tension between LeBron and Pierce started early, long before either had a real playoff legacy. Their rivalry began in a 2003 preseason game when Pierce reportedly spit in the direction of the Cavaliers bench. That incident did not go unnoticed. It set off a chain reaction that nearly led to a fight in the hallway after the game, with both teams involved until teammates stepped in to keep things from escalating further. In an early regular season matchup, the tension continued. Pierce got into a shouting match with Otis Carter, a close family friend of LeBron's. Each time Pierce scored, he made a point of looking directly at Carter, making it clear that this was not just any regular season contest. There was a brief period when things cooled down between the two. At a later All-Star weekend, LeBron and Pierce managed to squash their beef for a moment. They remained competitive on the court, but there were no personal incidents to report during that stretch. The rivalry did not stay dormant for long. It reignited during the 2008 playoffs when LeBron and Pierce faced off in a legendary 7-game series. Pierce put up 41 points, while LeBron scored 45 in a duel that set the tone for the rest of their matchups. In Game 4 of that series, tempers flared again. Gloria James, LeBron's mother, shouted at Pierce after a hard foul. LeBron told his mother to sit down, while Pierce took the opportunity to joke that his mom could take LeBron's. The Celtics came out on top in the series and went on to win the title. Pierce not only took home the Finals MVP, but also walked away with bragging rights over LeBron, at least during his first run in Cleveland. In 2010, Boston knocked Cleveland out of the playoffs again, with Pierce playing tough defense and making LeBron's lack of support painfully obvious. After that series, LeBron left for Miami, and Pierce mocked the move by saying he sent the U-Haul. The rivalry continued the next year when LeBron finally got the better of Pierce, beating Boston in 5 games and celebrating the win with emotion that made it clear this one mattered. Their 2012 Eastern Conference Finals matchup pushed both to the limit. Pierce hit a clutch shot over LeBron in Game 5, but LeBron responded in Game 6 with one of the best performances of his career. LeBron later called Pierce and the Celtics his closest thing to a real rival because of their repeated playoff showdowns. Pierce joined the Nets in 2013 and demanded to guard LeBron, but the outcome was clear. LeBron led Miami past Brooklyn in 5 games, including a 49-point effort. Pierce tried to keep the edge, banning teammates from wearing LeBron's shoes. Even as LeBron publicly praised Pierce during his retirement, Pierce still took shots at LeBron's legacy, refusing to let their rivalry completely fade. On ESPN, Pierce made a habit of questioning LeBron's leadership and approach to team building, often reminding viewers that his own era of players weren't afraid of LeBron.
My era's out the league. We wasn't afraid of LeBron.
Pierce repeatedly pushed the idea that LeBron did not belong in the all-time top 5, making his stance clear whenever the debate came up.
He's not a top 5 player of all time.
Their tension was still obvious during LeBron's final year in Cleveland. In Game 7 of the 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, Pierce heckled LeBron from courtside. LeBron responded verbally late in the 4th quarter, capping off the win as the Cavaliers blew out Boston on the same day the Celtics retired Pierce's jersey. LeBron controlled the game and was seen laughing on the bench while Pierce's big moment turned sour. Pierce called himself LeBron's biggest individual rival and claimed credit for pushing LeBron to Miami. When asked who he thought LeBron's biggest rival was, here's what Pierce had to say.
Why would you ask me a silly question? It's me, of course.
He later confirmed the spitting incident and joked about being glad there was no social media at the time. Pierce continued to send mixed signals in interviews, downplaying the personal aspect but never missing a chance to take a shot at LeBron or remind everyone of their heated playoff history. And speaking of playoff history, let's talk about someone who put a huge stain on LeBron's career in the playoffs: Jason Terry. Jason Terry entered the NBA in 1999 and made a name for himself as one of the best 6th men in the league, thriving as a scorer and a leader during his years with the Dallas Mavericks. Before the 2011 NBA Finals, there was no public animosity or major history between Terry and LeBron James. That changed during the Mavericks' 2010 training camp when Terry had the Larry O'Brien trophy tattooed on his bicep as a bold statement of confidence.
So I get the Larry O'Brien trophy tatted on my bicep.
Terry unveiled the tattoo during a team shoot-around before a regular season game. His teammates were shocked, but the message was clear. Terry believed Dallas could win it all, and he was willing to make that belief permanent. That energy carried into the playoffs, where the Mavericks faced a newly formed Miami Heat super team with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Throughout the 2011 finals, Terry averaged 18 points per game and delivered clutch shooting, knocking down contested jumpers and stepping up in big moments when Dallas needed baskets. LeBron, on the other hand, struggled to find his rhythm and failed to score in double digits in Game 4. Dallas won the series in 6 games, with Terry dropping 27 points in the clincher. The Mavericks upset, embarrassed the Heat, and handed LeBron the only finals loss of his Miami tenure. After spending one more season with Dallas, Jason Terry joined the Boston Celtics before the 2012-13 campaign. The move put him on a veteran roster, hoping to stay relevant in the Eastern Conference. On March 18, 2013, Boston faced the Miami Heat during Miami's historic 23-game winning streak. Late in the game, Terry turned the ball over and hustled back on defense, keeping his eyes on Mario Chalmers and losing track of LeBron James for a split second.
Turn back around, and he was already in the air.
LeBron took full advantage. He soared over Terry for a vicious dunk, sending Terry crashing to the floor. The image of Terry sprawled out with his arms crossed quickly went viral, becoming one of the most replayed posters of the era. That play didn't just stick with fans, it stuck with LeBron, who later admitted the moment meant more because of Terry's reputation for trash talk. The fact that it happened to JT made it that much sweeter, because we all know JT and he talks too much sometimes, and I'm glad it happened to him. The Heat won the game, with LeBron delivering the final blow by hitting the game winner and unleashing his silencer celebration in front of the Boston fans. For Terry, the dunk became an instant lowlight, and the clip is still played whenever LeBron's greatest highlights are discussed. The dunk became an inescapable part of Jason Terry's identity, overshadowing his NBA championship and long career whenever fans or media brought up his name. At youth basketball events and clinics, Terry says that kids never ask about his title or his 19 seasons in the league.
How did it feel for LeBron to dunk on you like that?
Terry recalled how friends and strangers kept texting him for weeks to see if he was okay, and he even joked that his Wikipedia page had been updated with his date of death after the play. During the game, Terry tried to brush off the embarrassment by making a technical free throw and staying calm, but the clip was everywhere by the next morning and has followed him ever since. LeBron made no effort to downplay what happened. He has always described the dunk as deserved, framing it as payback for years of trash talk and for what happened in the 2011 finals. Terry has called the dunk a career lowlight, but tries to put a positive spin on it, admitting that at least he is now a permanent part of NBA history. For many, the play is seen as LeBron's way of getting revenge for that finals loss, and Terry ended up absorbing the brunt of that frustration. To this day, whenever major dunks are ranked or discussed, Terry's name is brought up, often without any mention of his real accomplishments. Another name that's usually only brought up by casual fans when LeBron James is discussed is Lance Stephenson, the next guy on our list. Lance Stephenson first made a name for himself as a high school star in New York, picking up the nickname Born Ready while leading Lincoln High School to multiple state championships and breaking the New York State scoring record. LeBron James had a similar rise, gaining national attention at St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Ohio, and landing on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a junior in 2002. Stevenson's profile grew after he was featured in the 2008 documentary Gunnin' for That #1 spot and appeared on the cover of Slam magazine in 2009 with future NBA players like John Wall. While LeBron entered the 2003 NBA draft as the clear #1 pick and became the face of a franchise overnight, Stevenson had a much less direct path. Due to the NBA's rule change, he couldn't go straight from high school to the pros, so he played 1 year at Cincinnati before declaring for the 2010 draft. Stevenson's draft stock fell over off-court issues and questions about his character, dropping him to the 40th pick and sending him to the Indiana Pacers. During LeBron's first title run with Miami in 2011, Stevenson barely saw the floor and played no role in the playoffs. That changed in 2012 when the Pacers faced the Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals. In Game 3, Stevenson mocked LeBron's missed free throws with a choking gesture from the bench, even though he hadn't played in the series. According to Danny Granger, several Heat veterans, including Udonis Haslem and Juwan Howard, confronted Stevenson in the Pacers locker room afterward. LeBron responded by dominating Game 4 and ignoring Stevenson in the media, then helped the Heat close out the series on their way to another NBA title. By 2013, Lance Stevenson had moved into a starting role with the Pacers, stepping up as a key player during their playoff run while Danny Granger was sidelined. In the 2013 Eastern Conference Finals, Stevenson requested the defensive assignment on LeBron James in Game 4 and performed well enough to help Indiana tie the series at 2 games apiece. After the game, LeBron downplayed Stevenson's impact, choosing not to give him any credit in interviews. The following year, Stevenson raised his profile by leading the league in triple-doubles and helping Indiana earn the top seed in the East. His behavior on the court grew more unpredictable during the 2014 playoffs. He drew attention for a flop in Game 2 and for an in-game collision with LeBron in Game 3.
Why did I do that? What made me do that?
Stevenson took things to another level in Game 5 when he tried to get under LeBron's skin by blowing into his ear during a stoppage in play.
Blowing in the ear of LeBron James.
LeBron responded by laughing it off in the moment.
I was trying to do anything to get him frustrated.
However, the Pacers front office and Larry Bird were not amused. Bird reportedly spoke to Stevenson about his antics, signaling that the franchise did not approve. Despite all the gamesmanship, the Heat once again knocked the Pacers out in 6 games, bringing Indiana's run as a contender to an end. After the series, Stevenson posted on social media to congratulate LeBron and the Heat, attempting to dial back the tension between the two. After leaving Indiana in 2014, Lance Stevenson signed with the Charlotte Hornets, but injuries and inconsistency kept him from establishing a lasting role. Over the next few years, he bounced around the league, playing for several teams before returning to the Pacers for the 2017-2018 season. Once back in Indiana, Stevenson wasted no time reigniting his antics against LeBron, particularly during their 2018 first-round playoff matchup. In Game 1, Stevenson baited LeBron into physical contact, and their interactions led to a series of technical fouls throughout the series. LeBron stayed focused and refused to retaliate, occasionally telling reporters that the best way to handle Stevenson was simply to ignore him.
So I go to the bar. I'm some drunk dude coming.
That's how LeBron felt.
In a recent interview on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast, Stevenson admitted that the ear-blowing incident became his legacy, following him everywhere he went.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I regret it. Sometimes.
He even recalled being confronted by strangers about it, with one man at a bar, stepping behind him, blowing in his ear and asking, "How you like that?"
That's how LeBron felt. How you like that?
The one-sided rivalry finally came to a close when Stevenson joined LeBron on the Lakers in the 2018-2019 season. Both downplayed the reunion and said the past was behind them, formally ending one of the NBA's strangest feuds. But you want to know about an even stranger feud? Just listen what happened between LeBron and Delonte West.
Wasn't Delonte sleeping with LeBron's mom?
I heard.
Delonte West arrived in Cleveland in 2008, filling a crucial role for the Cavaliers as a defensive-minded guard who could handle the ball and take pressure off LeBron James. West earned a starting spot and quickly became part of the Cavs' playoff core from 2008 to 2010. The team reached the Eastern Conference Finals in 2009, but never broke through to the NBA Finals during West's time there. By the 2010 playoffs, West's numbers had dropped, averaging just 6.7 points per game, as the Cavaliers were knocked out in the second round by Boston. After that loss, the entire basketball world was suddenly focused on West for reasons that had nothing to do with basketball. Rumors started to fly online and in the media, claiming that Delonte West had been romantically involved with LeBron James's mother.
It ain't no rumor. That is absolutely true.
Calvin Murphy addressed the rumors on air and added fuel to the fire.
The only people that didn't know what was happening was LeBron and me.
The story spread fast, dominating headlines during the postseason, even though neither West nor LeBron commented publicly. The Cavaliers' collapse and LeBron's flat performance fueled the narrative that something behind the scenes had wrecked the team. West's name became forever linked to the rumor, overshadowing his years as a solid contributor and turning the situation into one of the most controversial storylines the league had seen in years. After Cleveland's loss in the 2010 playoffs, the focus shifted from basketball to rumors swirling around the locker room. Reporters and TV analysts openly questioned what had caused the Cavaliers' sudden collapse, pointing to issues far beyond just poor play. Stephen A. Smith commented on the controversy.
He was disrespected.
Smith continued.
He was flat out betrayed.
When asked will LeBron ever comment on the whole ordeal, Smith didn't have much to add.
I don't give a damn what anybody says. He probably will never speak about.
LeBron never addressed the rumor in public, but when he left Cleveland for Miami that summer, it only intensified speculation about what had really happened. Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert accused LeBron of quitting during games 2, 4, and 6, calling out his lack of energy and suggesting his head was somewhere else. Team chemistry was described as shattered overnight, and more than a few insiders pointed to personal betrayal as a key reason behind LeBron's departure. Delonte West was traded away soon after the season ended, returning to Boston for a brief run. Around the league, people began to say West was being blackballed, struggling to find a stable role or consistent minutes with any team. Delonte West repeatedly denied the rumor in interviews and on social media, insisting there was never any relationship between him and LeBron James's mother. In one viral Instagram video, West was filmed flatly denying any involvement, while the man recording repeated and amplified his denial for the camera, making sure the message was clear and uncensored. Throughout his playing days, West struggled with bipolar disorder, a challenge that only grew under the constant media spotlight. In 2009, he was pulled over while carrying multiple loaded firearms, including a shotgun hidden in a guitar case, and later explained that complications with his medication had played a role in his erratic behavior. His NBA journey took him through brief stops with the Celtics, Mavericks, and D-League teams, but he was unable to land a secure long-term role and eventually went overseas. Financial trouble and declining mental health led to several public incidents, including viral photos of West panhandling and appearing homeless. Despite intervention attempts by the NBA and former players like Mark Cuban, his struggles persisted into his 40s. The truth behind the original rumor was never confirmed, but its impact on West's reputation and career was permanent. And in the #1 spot, we have Michael Jordan. LeBron James grew up idolizing Michael Jordan, copying his moves, his style, and even wearing the same jersey number. He often said he tried to do everything Jordan did as a kid.
I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid.
When LeBron was a teenager, he got to meet Jordan while Jordan was training in Cleveland for his Wizards comeback. LeBron later described that moment as godly, comparing it to meeting God for the first time. For a 16-year-old, that meeting meant everything, and LeBron made it clear that he wanted to be just like Mike.
But I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike.
Jordan returned to the league with the Wizards, spending time around Cleveland and giving LeBron a brief connection before LeBron entered the NBA. Early on, Jordan even gave LeBron his phone number, but their relationship never developed much further. They crossed paths at all-star events and charity games, but after LeBron made it to the league, their direct contact faded. As LeBron struggled to win in Cleveland, constant media comparisons to Jordan became the norm. When he joined Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, critics accused him of chasing rings instead of building a legacy. After losing his first finals with Miami, doubts about LeBron living up to the Jordan standard only grew. After leaving Miami, LeBron James returned to Cleveland with a clear mission: to bring a championship to his hometown and cement his legacy by surpassing Michael Jordan. The media and fans kept the pressure high, comparing every part of LeBron's journey to Jordan's career. Every win, loss, and career move became another point in the ongoing debate about who was truly the greatest. The 2016 NBA Finals marked a defining moment. LeBron led the Cavaliers from a 31 deficit against the record-setting Golden State Warriors, delivering Cleveland's first championship in 52 years. After the win, LeBron made his feelings clear.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
The championship sparked renewed debate about LeBron's place in history, as fans and media argued over what actually defines basketball greatness. Was it championships, stats, longevity, or cultural impact? LeBron's claim that he had reached or passed Jordan's level became a lightning rod for debate. Michael Jordan publicly responded by giving LeBron his due.
He's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world.
Despite spending years chasing Jordan's legacy on the court, LeBron James never built a personal relationship with Michael Jordan. After LeBron entered the NBA, their interactions were mostly limited to quick handshakes at All-Star weekends or formal greetings at charity events. The two rarely spoke, and the distance between them became a common talking point in media coverage. LeBron addressed the lack of real connection in interviews. Pat, you and Michael in a good spot? LeBron, me and Michael? Pat, Jordan? LeBron, yeah.
You and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're a good spot.
When asked why they didn't develop more of a mentor and student relationship, LeBron said the following: LeBron, we don't talk. Pat, why? LeBron, because I'm still paying.
We don't talk.
Why not, you think?
Because I'm still playing.
Unlike Jordan's genuine friendship with Kobe Bryant, the relationship with LeBron stayed distant and professional. Analysts and commentators often pointed out the lack of camaraderie, questioning whether LeBron's pursuit of the GOAT title and repeated attempts to match or surpass Jordan's achievements contributed to the tension. LeBron's career has been shaped by rivalries, grudges, and unforgettable clashes with some of the NBA's most notorious names. From icons to agitators, these feuds have fueled some of his greatest moments and biggest challenges. Who do you think belongs on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more deep dives into NBA history.